Welcome, welcome. Come on in. Let us know where you're visiting from, where you're joining us from. Where are you in the world?
Recording in progress.
Slides ready. I've got my notes over here. Welcome from Pakistan, Louisiana, Portugal, Swaziland. Hi, Marlene. Great to see familiar names in the chat. How is everyone today? Make sure all the lighting is good. So glad to see all of you again. Who was here with me last week? Say yes if you were here with me last week. Love to know who's returning. Were you here live last week or did you catch up on the replay? A few things are ready over here. And I will share my lovely slides with you today. Last week I did it differently, so welcome to, here we go. Welcome. Welcome to today's webinar, Enhancing Efficiency, Google Calendar, Docs, and Sheets in Action. Who's ready for some action? Welcome. Thank you for letting me know where you're from today. Thailand. Oh, kia ora. Julian's here. Great to see you. 5 a.m. Oh, wow. Nice. Okay. If you signed up for the workshop last week and you're looking for the replay, just do a search in your emails. It would have been sent out from James. And you can email the team if you have any issues in needing to find that, or you can message me anywhere on social media if you need assistance with that. So South Africa, good morning. Hi from New York, Mexico, Thailand, rainy Houston. Okay, it's sunny for me here in Florida today, and it will be raining tomorrow. Hi, Bash. Great to see you. Ellie said half and half. Okay, so I guess you were here for half of yesterday, last week. Czech Republic. Oh, it's great to see all of you. Oh, thank you, Susan, for letting me know last week was a great presentation. Great to see all of you here. So what I'm doing is I'm also keeping my notes over here on the side so I can make sure everything looks good. Let's do that over here. Great stuff. All right. So I know you can hear me all well because you are replying. Welcome from the UK, China, Nigeria. Great to see you. Awesome. From India. Oh, fantastic. So last week, if you did receive the email with the replay, you would have seen I counted up all of the different countries. Who got that email? I think we had 22 countries last time, which was pretty amazing. I was so happy all of you could join. I'm going to click on over here as well. Okay, we have some note takers in here. Who's a note taker person? Okay. You will be getting a replay for this as well. Ellie, Antonio, Sana. I do myself use a note taker. It's not here in this room, but glad to see you're all here and you want to learn. So fantastic. So we are here. I wanted to give you a little tip in case you weren't aware. Because this is a Zoom webinar, when you first enter, sometimes it's already set to hosts and panelists when you chat. So it may look like this. But if you type like this, no one can see it other than me, and I may not be paying attention. So if you want everyone to see and you want the team to be able to find your questions and let me know in the chat, and I'll also look for them at the end, then make sure you come over here and do the little drop down arrow and put everyone there so everyone can benefit from your questions. I love to see the questions. So over here, once you've done that, it'll say everyone there. Once you put your little message in the chat and you'll see that everyone can see it. Mostly everyone has everyone settings set today. Fantastic. Yeah, I don't know. There's Teresa. If you wanted to change yours, then everybody can see your questions. Hello, Mila. Nice to see you. Okay, we're going to get started. I'm just going to hide the chat because I'm getting all distracted. What are we covering today? We're going to be talking about Google Calendar, Docs and Sheets. We have some more support for those who need it and a Q&A at the end. So who is excited to have some fun? Now, if you were here last week, I did ask you this question, but if you're just here with us today for the first time, I'd love to know your least favorite Google tool or your least used, and maybe you want to learn a bit more about it. So that's what I'd love to know about today. If the team is here, let me know if I'm going to make any of you hosts while I'm looking at the chat here. I'm going to check who's in here with us. And if anybody else needs adding in, you can send me a message if you do. Okay, thank you. It's great to see everyone here. So let's get started with our presentation. So in the chat, people are saying, okay, Google Forms, you'd like to use more. I love slides, but dislike it for student interaction. Google Forms, Google Docs, Google Keep, better understanding of docs and spreadsheets. Great to see you, Janine. Thanks for all those messages. That's fantastic. So let's do this. All right. Well, we are going to have a little bit of fun. I just like to say hi to everyone. And what would you like to do if you had more time this week? Now, those who were here last week, you'll know we talked about this. So I've got a new slide here. What would you like to do more of if you had more time this week? Are you a beach or a mountains person? That's always my favorite. Do you prefer the heat, a hot summer's day at the beach, or a cold mountain day hiking a mountain? Okay, just reading in the chat. Oh, yes, mountains, great. Yep, spend time with family and friends. Mountains. Now, I have spent some time in the mountains, but if I had to choose one, I would choose the beach. Glad to see. Oh, yeah, look at that. Hiking, mountains, but not in the cold. Yeah, I'm with you, Linda. I do like a good hike, but not in the cold. Snowboarding. Oh, I love that, Shelley. Fantastic. Oh, Janine was at the beach. Oh, Janine was in the mountains yesterday. Yeah, I like to mix it up. Oh, Colorado mountains. Did you have any snow recently? I've heard there's been crazy snow. Mountains, mainly the beach. Fantastic. Wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing. I love seeing that in the chat. So the reason we're here together, oh, look, you can even see a little picture of a seagull there just flying out of view. These two pictures are my pictures that I took. These are not. So we are here to learn how to use Google tools more effectively so we have more time to do other things that we love. So who am I in case you haven't met? Hi, I'm Christy. I'm an Aussie mum. I'm from Brisbane. I flew all the way from Brisbane over here to Florida. We've been here a while now. So we call ourselves digital nomads. We do home base in Florida, but travel as much as possible. I love technology. And not everybody's like that. Put a yes in the chat or a tech, love tech or hate tech or a love-hate relationship with tech. I've been in business over 25 years and my parents taught me about business before it was an online thing. They taught me about entrepreneurship when I was a teenager. My dad's always been in business. So I would love to share that mum life got me ready for 4 years of teaching ESL. I did mainly teach kids, but I did have some adult students as well. So I had a lot of fun doing that. So here's my son. Yes, 17 years ago, 16 years ago. He's 17 now. So this was me teaching kids online. And so that taught me a lot about being online, being on camera, learning those types of things. Being a mum just taught me how to be fun and friendly and have a bit more of a lighter attitude on life, I think. And then I met James online and I did some training with James and was able to, that got me ready for the online things about business. So marketing and things like that. So I've done quite a lot of training with James, but then I ended up joining the team because I love talking about technology. I decided not to continue with teaching English at all, and I only now teach technology because I just love it so much. So I started working with the Bowie team January 2022 as the tech expert. And I'm told people love the way I break technology down into smaller, more manageable and understandable bits of information. So I hope that's you. Glad to have you here. And I'd love to share some more things with you today. So just looking in the chat, yeah, we've got some love-hate with technology, some yeses. So this is my house. I just wanted to share with you. I live in a fifth wheel trailer. Some people think of it as an RV, but this is us. A lot of times, I think my YouTube videos, some of them came from here. This is a lot of times where I sit as my office. Today, I'm in a different building, but this is when we were on the road. We actually live in Florida, so that's when we were on one of our travels. So are you in a house, in an apartment, in a small home, a tiny home, a big home? Do you want a home on wheels? Love it. I just love to share that part because that's what online teaching can afford us, that opportunity to do things differently. Great to see you. I love your enthusiasm, Antonio. Great to have you again this week. Love it. So I'm just going to hide my tools over here so I can focus on the meeting. Anytime you think of a question, type it in the chat and I will come back to those at the end. But I forgot to mention last week, if you want to find me online, I think I did mention, just Google Teacher Kristy. Kristy with a K, ends in a Y, Teacher Kristy. Anywhere online, you'll find me. I'm on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. I have my website, teacherkristy.com. So anything I ever refer to is pretty much on my website, teacherkristy.com/, whatever I'm talking about. So have a think about popping over there and bookmarking that one to see what my up and coming events are, such as you'll see these workshops right now are featured at the top of my website homepage. So again, March, throughout this month, we're doing 3 workshops. Today is number 2 of 3. And last week we looked more about Google Drive. This week is about calendar, docs, and sheets. And then next week, these slides, I hope you like my slides because these are created on Canva. So I'm going to have so much fun sharing with you how to create engaging slides with Canva next week. So I look forward to seeing you if you can make it. If you've registered for today's workshop, you're already registered for next week and you'll receive the reminder emails through Zoom, but the replay emails will come through from James and the team, just letting you know. Okay, it's great to have everyone here. Let's dive in. Who is interested in learning some more? Today's spotlight, calendar, docs, and sheets in action. Are you ready to save time? Let's type yes in the chat to save time. If you have a question, you're welcome to type that in the chat. And I look forward to serving you throughout this presentation. Oh, I love it. Look at those. Having a look at the chats over here. Fantastic. Thank you so much. Loving it. How do we make this rotate? That will be helpful. I'll have to do that next time. Okay, I've got my chats over here on the side. So yes, slides. Thank you. That was a really good question. Slides can be like, some people do their slides on PowerPoint. Some people do their slides on Google Slides, which is like an online version of PowerPoint. I personally love playing on Canva, so I found it easier for myself to create on Canva. But a little tip, next week I will show you how to create them. But even if you want to not present in Canva, how you can still present those pretty slides you create Canva if you wanted to use PowerPoint or slides. So that is next week. I'm excited about that one. So let's get moving with a live demo. I'm doing less slides today. Who liked the little checklist from last week? That's what I'm going to focus on for you today. So I'm going to get that ready and let's get that going over here. Not recapping yet. There's my little chats over there. So let's get moving over here. All right, so we are over here on a Google Doc. Okay, let's put this down here. I think that's easier. Okay, just having a quick catch up in the chat here. Yeah, a lot of people just know PowerPoint. That was a good question. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right. Oh, let's go to the top. All right. So what I'm doing here is sharing some notes with you about things I'm going to share. Now, I would like to ask you, do you feel that sometimes you have so many things on your to-do list that you would love to know how you could fit everything in? Do you find that time just gets away and you just don't always have enough time to get everything done you would like to do? hide that one there. Who finds that? You got way too many things you want to get done in an amount of time that just never always ends up working out. So I wanted to just have a think about how you allocate your time through the week. Now, I'm a visual person. Type visual if you're a visual, or just the letter V in the chat. If you're a visual person, how do you map out a week? How do you plan your week? Do you generally like get a piece of paper? Are you a paper diary person? Are you someone that types everything out on a Google Doc, or do you use your calendar, maybe your Google Calendar, to help yourself get organized? I'm going to keep the chats over here. I think that will be really helpful. Okay, we've got paper diary, a posted big calendar. Yeah, a lot of people love to do that. Yeah, on the wall, love that, Linda. Excel's Marlene's an Excel person. I love Excel. Well, I actually prefer now Google Sheets, which is the online version of Excel. Paper checklist on calendar, write notes. Yeah, it's right in front of you, Linda. I love that. Calendar right on paper. Okay. Oh, post-it notes. Oh, I love a good sticky note party. So the only problem with that can be that sometimes things can get lost, go missing. Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much. I love that. Okay, what I'm going to do is I want to show you, did I get the right page ready? No, don't freak out. I'm going to talk about some color coding. Let's put this over on the next page and just talk about over here. Some color coding. Let's make this bigger. Let's do that. There we go. We can kind of focus on what we're looking at. So time management and how I do this in Google Calendar. Now, I won't scare you by looking at my actual Google Calendar, so I kind of created a test one to share with you today. But what I wanted to explain is it can be so helpful to visualize your week and really understand how you can do something. Now, I have a little test for you. So say you get, for example, this training you were invited to. It's a free training. You know you're going to get the replay. So do you say, yes, I want that, but then you're like, I'm going to go back and do the replay? Are you that type of person who signs up for it, even though you're not going to attend live, you don't have time, or maybe it's not at the right time for you, but you intend to come and watch the replay? Type replay in the chat if you're a replay person. Now, I do try as much as possible to attend live, but it became apparent to me a little while ago that I cannot say yes to all of the trainings because I don't have 24 hours in a day to stay awake and stand in front of my computer. Do you feel that way? That you wish you had more time because there's so much you want to learn? Yep. So replay if I can't make it live. Live if the time matches, replay when I can't attend. I love that, Ellie. You said exactly. It's true. Yeah, and it does depend on the time zone. See, right now I have it pretty easy because I'm in Florida, which makes it pretty easy to be able to accommodate a lot of places in the world, except for Australia, which is my home country. And right now it would be like, 2 a.m. So yes, I wish I needed less sleeping hours. Now, I love that you mentioned that. Thank you. We're gonna dive right in. What I wanted to show you is how can you, and this is just an example of something you could do as a way of mapping out a week. And I'm not saying to do this every week. You'd be like, whoa, what is that? All right, we're gonna make this full screen. Yeah, it's good to have the option of the replay, right? Now, I put together something here. And you'll notice what I put over here in, I guess that's kind of a pinky color. Is that salmon? Now, who's a color coding person? Type in color if you like to color code. Now, you might look at this and be like, what is going on here? So I just wanted to demonstrate using colors how you can map out a week. Now, it's important that you know, we'll call it your sleep number, but you need to know how much time you need to get to sleep at night to really function well the next day. If you're teaching someone something, you want to be on your game, right? Now, I taught online for 4 years. I know what it's like getting up at 5 a.m. and teaching, and you look in the camera and you're like, oh, I hope they don't notice that I look half dead. So I know that I'm better with 7 hours of sleep a night. Like I probably don't sleep 8 anymore, but I can function on 6. But below that, I know I'm not on my best game. How do you feel? Do you have a sleep number? How many hours do you feel you need to sleep a night? Looking back in the chat, I love that you've got the colors going. Love it. Yeah, I just love color coding. And to me, I'm an emotional person, so colors sometimes mean emotions to me. I color code my paper calendar. Oh, I love that, Jenny. I like to color code, but can't do it in Google Calendar. Antonio, this is Google Calendar. Did you mean you ran out of colors, or do you not know how to? Would you like to learn how to do that? Okay. 7. Oh, I love this. See, you're like me. 7. Oh, Antonio, you're going to love today. That's one of the things I love to teach people. All right. Love color coding. All right. I love seeing these in the chats. It's very exciting. Thank you. So what I wanted to just demonstrate is let's just map out a week. I jumped all the way up here to June. So if you wanted to do the same, after this session, come back and watch the recording or do this on your own. Open up a Google Calendar and just jump 3 months ahead. So there's kind of nothing on your calendar in the way. And let's just map out a week. Now you need to go to sleep. Okay, at whatever time suits you and depending on what time you work. So I just grabbed an example. I prefer to be asleep by 10, but sometimes it's 11. So I want to be up around 6 or 7. It just depends what I've got going on. Lately with the time change, it's been more like 7 because we're getting used to the new time change. So I've just put there, and pink for me means personal. I guess it's like an alliteration and a bit of an emotional color. So pink is for me. Pink is for me personally. Pink for personal. So I just put that in there. And what I also mapped out is I went in and I put lunch. Yes. What a is that something you skip often? Trying really hard not to skip lunch because then the afternoon just doesn't flow as nicely. And then I've got, okay, you need to eat at night. You need to have some downtime, some family time. So you can kind of see where I'm going with this example, just to give you a bit of an idea of how important and helpful it can be to just block out a week, even if it's just a one-time thing that you do to get more of an idea of how you can do things. Okay, awesome. 7 hours, but body clock forces me to wake up at 4 a.m. Yeah, everybody's different, so never used Google Calendar before. But this slide with that big block of free time, not full of anything except sleep, it's killing me. Okay, is that a nudge for me, Ellie? Let's get moving. All right, so I love this. So what we're going to do, you can also type in then, okay, if you know you have set teaching times, maybe you teach with an online company or your own business, you have set times that you teach. So put them on. I just put it in, I put it in blue. Who wants to know how to do those colors? If you're on a computer, you can just right click. Once you've created, I'll show you this one. If you already have something on your calendar, let's do this one. Eat and get ready at 6 a.m. So on your computer, I'm going to hover my mouse and I'm going to right click. Look what pops up. All of these colors. I'll kind of tell you what my colors are as I go along. So I'm going to change this to pink because that's a personal thing. Now it gives you the option. Do we want to change just this event only? Or do we want all of the future events to also change? So I want, yes, all of the future events to change, and have a look. They're all now pink. I hope that was helpful. Antonio, now you know how to do the colors. Looking in the chat. Now I need to follow this so I don't get lazy and do nothing. Yeah, just it gives you, and not everyone has time to do this every week. I totally support that. But it's a great place to just remind yourself how many hours in the day so you can actually know what you can fit in. About 10 years ago, I was like so overwhelmed with life, with mum life. Our son was kind of smaller. And I literally wrote down in a book every single thing I do in a week. Now, if you're a mum or if you're running a home, you have, extra things to do. So I literally wrote down washing, sleeping, eating, preparing food, shopping, like all the things. And I'm like, what? No wonder I don't have enough time to do everything and things keep getting pushed aside because I was trying to do too much. So this is why I wanted to show this to you. You need to literally be realistic with, okay, I only have these many hours in the day. I'm not going to sit up at 1 a.m. until 3 a.m. to catch up on training, you need to sleep to make the rest of your day work. Okay, I hope this is helpful. I'm loving these comments in the chat. Thank you. I'm glad. Yeah, online training is great, especially when you're looking for work or you're learning how to do new things. Hi, Fiona. Great to have you here from Sri Lanka. Oh, thank you. That's so nice to say. My trainings are awesome. I'm so glad. Antonio, yours has no option to change. It changed the time slot. Okay, well, I will have a look. Oh, I love this, Marlene. Yes. Excel can be a great way to do other things, which I'm going to show you as part of today's training. I'm going to keep an eye on the time, right? So sometimes I do some preparations in Excel or Google Sheets before I bring it over to Calendar. Absolutely. No, I don't know. I'll have a look into that, Antonio. I have more than one Gmail account. So yeah, you can still color code. So let's have a look. Let's have a look at settings. Thanks for reminding me. While we're here, let's have a look over at my checklist, okay? So I'm talking about time management, prioritization. I did show you a little bit about color coding. I want to show you the settings just while it's here on my mind. So I'm going to show you the settings because someone brought that up. On the left-hand side, this is the name of this calendar. Now, this calendar is named Christy Wells because over here, when I created this Google account, my name is Christy Wells. Okay, so that's where it gets that from. You can create extra calendars in here, but what I want to show you is when you hover your mouse and you'll see those 3 dots, right? Let's click on that. And also, just while we're here, Antonio, I'd love to know if this is here for you. This gives you the default color for everything you put on this calendar. So you could say, well, I always want everything to start out as a specific color, and then you can change them from there. So I just wanted to let you know what that one was. But the real reason I'm here is to show you settings, because did you notice on this page, it starts on a Sunday. Does your work week start on a Sunday? Mine does not. Now, I don't like the fact that Sunday's over there and Saturday's over there, because for me personally, my weekend is together. Would you like to know how to put Monday first? Is that something that's important to you? Like I said, I'm the visual person, so this is important for me. Just wanted to let you know we have 100 people here in the Zoom with us. It's wonderful to have all of you here. I appreciate your time. Okay, chats. Yes. Yeah. Okay, I'll show you what options we have to change that. So let's click on settings, and we're going to scroll down and look for something that says keep going. Went straight past it last time too. And you've probably seen it and you're saying, Christy, you went past it. Wow. I just looked at this yesterday and now I can't see it. All right, so zooming down. Where is it? Notifications. It's one of those little settings in here. Wow. Okay. Let's click over here. No. Why is it not jumping out at me? That's so funny. Who sees it? Can you see it? Where did it go? It's so, oh, I know where it is. It's in a different spot. I know why. Okay, so we have settings for calendar. I apologize. We went on a little tiki tour there. If you're from New Zealand, you know what that means. Okay, top right, there's a gear wheel icon that says settings menu. I apologize. Okay, settings. So this is the settings for you. I think there's different things in here. Yeah, okay. So this is the one I was looking for. So we're going to scroll down and it says, what I'm looking for is here, view options. Okay, so if you're like me and you went into the wrong one, it's the other one. Top right, settings. So see here our options that we have. Let's make it bigger in case this is too small for you. Okay, I hope that helps. So we can choose to hide the weekends. I don't personally work weekends anymore, so I actually hide mine, but I left them on there so I could show you how we can take that off. The other thing, so I'm going to take it off and I'll show you how that changes, but then here it is here, start week on. So I think these are mainly set for the defaults. So you can go in here and change whatever you want. So I'm going to start my week on a Monday because that is my first day of my work week. And it does allow you to choose either Saturday, Sunday, or Monday. Those are the options in Google Calendar. I hope that helps. So I did learn from another teacher who was learning technology with me that where she was in the world, Saturday was the beginning of the work week, which was interesting. I didn't know that. So I'm going to click Monday. That's the only thing I want to change right now. There's a lot of things you can look at in your settings. I'm just going to show you a few important ones that will help you today. I'm going to click the back arrow in the top left to go back to my calendar. Now I've got it really, really big. We don't want it that big. So now you can see that my calendar starts on Monday, but I also hid the weekends. Let's put that back again for a second, just so you can see the difference. If you did want the weekends, that's totally fine. And I have my weekends at the end of the week. And then I can plan out like my family things. I would put them there, but I have them on my personal calendar. Okay, I'm just checking up in the chat if that was helpful. You are welcome. Yep, so the ESL company you works for shows schedules that start the week as Monday. So this might be helpful for you now to plan. Love it. Thank you for the thumbs up. I appreciate it. Okay. Now I will say for some, you may know some of this, but for some who don't know all of the options that they have available, this is why I'm here to show you what I feel is really helpful, but maybe it was hidden and you didn't realize it was there. So another thing we can do, say we want to make a new, just this one, let's make a new event. Now this is what I call creating a manual event. Now you can do it two ways. You can click on the create button and it'll give you your choices of an event, a task, or an appointment schedule. But what I prefer to do, like I said, I'm visual, so I prefer to just click on the time slot that I want to look at. I'm just going to hide that weekend again, if that's okay with you, but just know that you can leave it there if that works for you. Okay. So say on Friday at 7 a.m., which I don't teach before 9 anymore, but some of you may, click there and it will pop open here. Now you can do a really fast creation here and put like session or class and press save, done. But you might want to put a little bit more details in there. So we can click the more options, which then opens it in what I call the big screen view. Hope that helps. Oh, I'm so glad, Clarissa, to hear that helped you. Fantastic. Oh, and look at that. See, somebody else also starts on Saturday. So that is great for you. Fantastic. I'm so glad I could share that with you. Now you'll notice this may look different for you. The only thing that may look different is this one here. Make it a Zoom meeting. You will have this button if you've already connected your Zoom to your Google Calendar, which in this case I have, but you may only see this Google Meet, and maybe you use Google Meet. That's totally fine. But this is a quick way to create a Zoom meeting link and putting the email over here to invite your student or your client without having to open Zoom, open email, open calendar. It does all of it for you in one go. Okay, so let's say here we're going to go session. I'm just going to keep it easy and call it session. Now I'd love to know, Antonio, do you have the colors here? So halfway down the page, there's a little color button which you can change. I'll keep these chats over here. I'm not familiar with Skype and whether you can integrate that with Google Calendar, but it's probably something you could Google. I apologize. I don't actually know the answer to that one. I mainly am using Zoom, Google, but you are so welcome. So even if you could grab your Skype link, you could pop it here and you could still email somebody. So it's still, I guess, just two places to go instead of three. So what we can do is say this is a session. Now I'll tell you one of my other little secrets. So red for me means I'm on camera. I have to tell you a funny story. So who grew up with the Brady Bunch? Showing my age, I know. The Brady Bunch. I just remember this episode of Jan, the one in the middle. I think it was Jan, and she was really brainy, and she won a spot on a game show quiz, something like that. And the red light went on to say they were live on TV. That just pops into my brain. Now, consequently, she actually froze and couldn't speak the entire time. But for me, red means I'm on camera. So that's why I choose red. And what I do is a lot of the times I'm the host, but sometimes I'm attending. So I know I'm on camera, but I'm not the host. So I personally just choose orange in that case. It's just giving you some little insights to my brain. So red for me means I'm going to be teaching this session. And I guess some other things you could put in here is any descriptions. You can put here busy to say that that space is blocked off on your calendar and no one can book a time if you have a calendar that you share with people, a calendar link. So that's why that is helpful. And then if you wanted to change your notifications that reminds you, it can either pop up on your computer. I have mine on my phone, but I don't like the pop-ups on my computer. Yeah, exactly. Oh, thank you. I'm glad. My color choices make sense. Plus, I'm wearing red today because red is actually my power or my confidence color. I even got married. No, I wasn't wearing red. My bridesmaids all wore red at our wedding. So, yes, my favorite color. Okay, so a little bit more what you can do in here. And I'm going to come back to this location area later on. I want to share something else with you. I already know I'm going to have to skip over some things because I have so much I want to share with you. So I'm going to come back to this one. So yes, you could make that a Zoom meeting or put in a Google Meet or a Skype meeting if that's, I don't remember, I haven't used Skype in so long now, how that would work. So we're just going to press save and that's going to pop over here. Now you'll notice it chose half an hour time slot, and that's also something you can change in your calendar settings. My default is 1 hour. So whenever I click and create an event, it always does 1 hour. So you can investigate your default settings. I believe that's over here on the left because that's the settings for the calendar itself. And so you can go over here and look at the things that you can here. So you've got your event notifications. You can change those, other things like that. So I just wanted to point that out for you. Another little tip, if you're on your computer, if you hover your mouse, you'll notice I got those little up-down arrows to expand, and I'll be thinking, okay, well, that's going to be an hour, so I can click and drag it. How cool is that? Speaking of clicking and dragging, say you have a client and your meeting changes, you can click and drag it. Yes, half an hour reminders. Yeah, I'm the same, Antonia. Mine are always half an hour. Say a student changes or you need to change a time, you can click and drag it. So this is 7 a.m. Let's say, pretend this one's empty, and I'll be like, oh no, we need to change it. You can click and drag it and then just drop it. Now, if there was an email in there, let's put that back. I'm going to show you. Say I'm going to invite myself. There I am there. Say I'm going to invite myself. So I'm going to save it, and it's going to send an invitation by email from Google. Okay. But then I'm like, oh no, I need to change it. So I'm going to move it, and it'll say, okay, I'll change it for you on your calendar, but do you want me to send a message to the other guests who are attached to that calendar event? So you can either put a message and say yes and send it, or don't send. So I'll say dated time, sent. So if you're using Zoom, maybe someone was going to be half an hour earlier or something, that can be helpful. Yes, you can email someone. I'm so glad. This is in some other training that I have, so we can talk more about that later. Marlene, I'm so glad this is helpful for you. Wonderful. You're learning all these cool things. So remembering we're using free tools. So why not? Let's use these free tools until we outgrow their capacity. But for now, they're a fantastic way to color code, and you're seeing how to do that. Now let's get moving on. I've shown you that one about reminders and the settings. Now this one's about creating recurring admin tasks. And this is something I'm going to get into a little bit into the Google Sheets. I know I'm going to spend all day just on calendar. I got to get moving, right? So let's skip ahead 1 week. Okay, this is a blank week, so I need to show you. Say, for example, you know that every week you need to create social media posts. If you're in business and you advertise for yourself on social media, you need to create the posts. You need to maybe engage online. You need to post the actual post. Maybe you do that manually. So where do you plot that in your week? Like if you're the type of person that's like, oh, I need to post today, quick, throw something up there. let's plan it out in your week. So it's in there and you set aside the time. Kind of like budgeting. I'm a numbers juggler. I love to juggle numbers and budget. That's why I like Excel. Marlene, I'm like you. So we can think of it in the same way. We can budget time just like we budget money. You can't overspend time because there's none left. You will just never sleep and then you would fall over and that wouldn't be good. Okay. So let's say at 9 o'clock every Monday morning, I'm blocking off this time for me personally for my business. You have to make it an appointment with yourself for your business so that it keeps running. Does that make sense? Give me a yes in the chat. So we're going to say plan social media. Now, what also helps with this is if you have a set time every week, because your mind is there in that space, you can possibly plan out the entire week. That's really what we suggest, at least 1 week, if not a month if possible. But when you set aside that time, you can get into that creative space and you're going to plan out the entire week and you can make them kind of subsequent. It's a succession of posts that kind of lead someone to an outcome at the end of the week. So we're going to say plan social media. Let's go more options and look at this repeat button. So you can say, I want it every day. Well, I don't work 7 days a week. So you could say daily, or you could say, I want it every week on Monday. So weekly. Or there's another one there that says every weekday, Monday to Friday. So you could try even that one. Now, I want to show you something that I use often. When you choose weekly, I choose weekly first. Then I click drop down again and I put custom. The reason I do that is because now it's already set weekly, but sometimes I add a day. So I don't work Fridays, Saturdays, or Sundays. So I might like to do this every Monday and every Wednesday. So I can click the day and then it'll repeat on those days each week. I hope that's helpful. And if ever you have like a short thing, like I'm doing these 3 workshops for the month of March. So I've put an end date. You can put an end date when these recurrences finish, or maybe you're having 10 sessions with a client. So you want to put in, there'll be like, 10 occurrences of that session. So if you move one, it still counts for you. So I hope that helps. I'm just going to say, because I'm just showing you a week. So you can click on there for the date and you can literally click ahead and move. And let's just say we're going to do that till the end of the month. Done. Now I'm going to put in here. Now you need to choose a color for your business. What color suits your business? You're going to visually think, okay, this is either say it's my favorite color or it's a color that you think of, business or admin. Choose a color that suits you. Sometimes I do green. I can't remember now. It just depends. And click. And I'm also just letting you know, I put it as busy. So some people will message me and say, there's no availability on your calendar. I'm like, okay, let me go have a look at that and see if I can move some things around. Because I literally block my admin things on my calendar every week. And sometimes I can move a couple of things around if I need to accommodate a client that can't find a time that suits them. I might be able to move something to a different spot so that they can book that time. So I'm going to click save and look at that. It's got the 2 there. And I said I was going to do it to the end of July. So if I skip to a week, it can show me the next 2 weeks as well. While we're here talking about navigation, there's a shortcut. We're looking at a week view right now. If you press the D on your keyboard for day, it just shows you 1 day. What do you think it would be for a month? Can you guess? Keyboard shortcut. You press 1 letter. 1 letter for the month. You're the winner, Ada. M for month. Oops, let's go over here. Excellent. Now, what do you think it is for a week? You probably already guessed. So there's 3 keyboard shortcuts: day, week, and month. Exactly. Susan's the winner. W it is. So we're going to click W to go back to the week view. So that can be really helpful for planning as well. Okay, so what I want to do now, it's 1/4 to the hour, to the top of the hour. So glad that you liked that, Teresa. It's really helpful, these keyboard shortcuts we can find. I want to, now I know I'm going to click back over here. I've created some things. Now, I have some more to show you, but I know that there's another meeting after this. It starts in 15 minutes. So I wanted to just share something before other people need to leave. I hope it's okay with you that I share something that I've prepared for you before some of those people leave, but I will come back to what I'm sharing with you here. So what I'm going to do is go back over here. And I just want to share with you, if you do have to jump off before the top of the hour, if you wanted more help with this, and I do have more to share with you, but just know that I put something together special just for you, for teachers who want to save time and remove the stress and headaches technology cause, because that's what I hear from a lot of people. Technology can become a headache. So we put together the Teacher Tech Bundle, which is a bundle of a few trainings that we have available here at Bowie that I've created. Look at my pretty pictures here of the ocean. So I'm going to say there's three things. So there's 2 Canva trainings. There are 3 trainings here that our clients follow, proven trainings. And then we've got this Tech Boost bundle or a tech kit that has 3 videos in it as well. So what is included in that? So I gave you a little bit more information about it. The Canva training, some of you may already have them, but if you haven't yet, the beginner training is how to quickly create social media profile pictures and banners so you can make a great first impression. The 3-day Canva challenge is more about how to create those carousels that you can slide through that have multiple pages. Then those 3 proven trainings that our clients follow is I broke it down into 3 areas. So efficient marketing to save time, Google Drive organization, a little bit more on what I talked about last week, and the 6 stages of the customer journey. I'll walk you through from beginning to end, social media to calendar. So, and payments, how to do payments as well. And then I also have the Tech Boost bundle, I'm calling that. So it helps you with time-saving shortcuts, how to streamline web browsing, and the third one is more about Zoom, but also how to screen share. So I have a lot of tips there about screen sharing. So before you go, I just wanted you to know what the deal is about. So the Teacher Tech Bundle has those trainings there, the Canva Beginner. It's normally $69 on its own. The Canva 3-day challenge is normally $69 on its own. These 3 proven trainings, we don't normally sell those separately. So they are probably worth way more than what I put there. The Tech Boost bundle, $97, and we're putting in the bonus there of my Zoom training. It's a little bit extra than the other one I was just talking about. Oh, look, my little line moved. They're normally, like altogether, they're $411 if you put them together. Normally, you can go buy this bundle at any time for $197, but wait, because you're here with us live, because you're awesome and you've stayed with us right till now, I wanted to share this with you that instead of $197, you can get that for 75% off for only $47. So let me know, yes, if you'd like the link. Type link in the chat if you'd like that. I'm not done yet. So this is available for those that are here with us for this series. So look at that. You'd love the link. I'm so glad I can share that with you. So let me hop over there. Now I said I still do have some more training that I do want to share with you. So no worries there. I'm going to also go back over to my other one. So just in case you were wondering, you get immediate access as soon as you sign up. Let me grab that link for you. For those that have to go, but just know I have more training to share with you. If you were here with me last week, you know that I love to share. Okay, link for the bundle. Okay, so this is exclusive for this series only. Okay, there you go. I'm going to pop that there for you. And this is what it looks like once you, so once you pop over there, you'll see that, okay, I'm over on this one. Oh, I changed my screen. Now I'm getting all confused. There we go. So just so you know that once you click on that link and you'll come to this page, there's even a little extra, super extra cheap bonus that a highly discounted rate for my ConvertKit training there. You get immediate access via email and it's lifetime access. And there's a guarantee. We don't want you to feel that you got these trainings and you didn't benefit from it. So yes, we have a a money back guarantee there, 30-day money back guarantee. So I've popped the link in the chat. I'll pop it there again shortly, but I just wanted to, we're not up to Q&A yet. I just wanted to switch over there, and I know some have to go to a different training, but let's get back to what I was showing you. Who wants to learn a little bit more about how we can use Google Docs and then Google Sheets? So type Docs in the chat. If you don't see the link, you can, let me pop that in there again for you. There we go there. Oh, I know why. I apologize, because do you know what? I didn't follow my own advice, and I typed in the link to the host and panelists, which currently is just me. So there you go. Thanks, Antonio. Okay, so the link is there in the chat for those who wanted to take advantage of that. I wanted to share it with you before in case anyone had to jump off, but please stay. I have some more to share with you. And if you tell me what you'd like to know, I can probably show you exactly what it is you're trying to learn. So I wanted to show you we did quite a bit there on Google Calendar. I hope that was helpful. What I wanted to share with you was some quick navigation tips. I'm going to do it really fast, but just know you can come back to this training and have a look. Great to see you, Marlene. Thank you. Is there a deadline for this bundle? So this bundle is available for this series. Okay, Antonio, so I hope that's helpful. So I'm going to get back to my training, and then I can come back to any other questions you have later. So who likes to do things faster or learn new ways? Everyone in the chat today has been like, thank you, I didn't know I could do that. And I'm hoping this is going to save you a lot of time. So a few things. Now we're in a Google Doc right now. So I'm going to show you some things here. I think some of you may have seen last week, if you need to create a Google Doc really fast and you don't want to open Google Drive, go to the folder you want to save it, start a new document. Sometimes I'm in the middle of a meeting and I just need a doc right now. So you can type docs.new. Let's try it out. Docs.new. Boom. We get a new Google Doc, which you can then file later if you just needed something in a hurry. I just wanted to share that with you. The same actually goes also. Yes, you got it. Thank you for typing that in the chat. Docs.new. New if you're American. I say new. So it's the same for sheets as well. So you would go sheets. I don't know if it's sheets or sheet. I think it's sheets. Sheets.new. So if you need a new sheet, super fast, that's the shortcut. Okay, I just wanted to share that with you. May not mean anything to anyone, but I use that one at least 5 times a week. Okay, so that's that one. Now, who knows the keyboard shortcuts? I've talked about this all the time. If you want more keyboard shortcuts, I may have already mentioned this, but I'm going to pop it in the chat anyway. If you want more Google shortcuts, keyboard shortcuts, I just popped it in the chat. Oh, thanks, Steffi. You didn't know about that one. Yeah, it's pretty cool, right? Oh, great to see you here. Triangle Tech Works. I've seen you around before. So if you want to change your chat to say everyone, then everyone can benefit from your question. So the question was, do you think Google Docs is better than Word? Well, here's the thing. Do you think apples are better, green apples are better than red apples? It's kind of a personal choice, but it depends on what you want to do with them. So I will share a couple of things. Yeah, it's true what you're used to, but it depends. If you're wanting to share with people and collaborate, meaning you want to share a document with a client and literally work on it together. I was doing that with a client this morning. He was typing some words, I was typing some words. We literally did it at the same time. Google Docs is the way to go. Especially, yeah, I only use Google Docs. Oh, I'm so glad. Thank you, Clarissa, to let me know that you found this really informative. I'm so glad. I have all this stuff. The client I was working with this morning is like, you should be telling people these cool shortcuts because they're really time saving. So cut, copy, paste are probably the most ones that people use. So cut means if you want to pick up and move words somewhere else. Copy just means you want to duplicate it somewhere else. So how would you do that? Let's say I want to cut this word cut, put it at the end of the row. I'm going to use, now if you're on a Windows computer, we'll do this, right? Windows uses Control. So it looks like this on your keyboard, but it's called Control. So you do Control plus X. So think of scissors. scissors, X. So Control X is cut. So I'm going to do this on my keyboard. Control X, you'll notice it disappears. It's waiting there on your clipboard to know where you want to put it. I'm going to put it at the end of the line, and I'm going to use this one. Control V is paste. Paste. There it is. Oh, I didn't type it in here, but if you want to undo your last few actions, Control Z or Z if you're American, also listed on my keyboard shortcuts that I dropped in the chat. So that's that one. If you are on a Mac, you would use that little symbol Command. You know, the Command button, which is also, I believe, down in the bottom left of your keyboard. So you'd hold the Command and press the other letter. So X is for cut, C is for copy, V is for paste. Why is this helpful? When might you need this? I'm great. Thank you, Janet, for letting me know you want to learn more about Google Docs. So imagine you have, no, I didn't do, okay. Imagine you want two things side by side, and you want to be looking over here, but pasting, copy, paste, copy, paste. So maybe you're looking at LinkedIn and you are collating a new list of clients or potential clients that you'd like to follow up with. They're not a client yet, but you want to make sure that you keep in touch with them. So you might be over here on LinkedIn on the half screen. I showed that last week in last week's session. To copy their link on LinkedIn and paste it into, what might we use? Google Docs? No, let's use a Google Sheet. All right, we said we do sheets, so let's do this. It's already 1 o'clock almost, so I want to show this to you because I found it really helpful. So say we're going to call this new client list or something like that. Let's call it something. Can't spell. Okay, can't spell when you're on camera because you get all nervous and in a hurry. So say you're on LinkedIn and you have seen Bill. You want to keep in contact with Bill, Mary, John. Oops. So you might go over to LinkedIn and grab a link, which, do you know what? Totally forgot to share mine with you. So let's do that. Where's Christy? Look, I even grabbed my links here. So these are my links if you want to be in contact with me. So let's say this is a link that I'm going to use as an example. So I'm going to say, okay, this is Bill's LinkedIn. I'm just going to paste it here. And then you've got a new one for Mary. And then you've got a new one for John. Now I'm going to kind of jump around a bit with my training. So let's follow this thought through. You have a list of something you want to keep, but you want a running list with links to take you somewhere quickly. Now for this example, you might want to follow up with these people every 3 days or twice a week. Like we used that example on the calendar before. I have something new to show you. So let's go like this, a new client list or whatever the name of the document is. We're going to go over to calendar. Now, remember I said we want to plan our admin tasks. So we've planned social media. Let's do this. I know that I want this same type of appointment meeting. I'm going to show you something new. You can come back and watch the replay if you need to. Let's click this one because I want to kind of copy all of its settings and see these 3 dots. I'm going to say duplicate. Now, I don't actually want to duplicate plan social media, so I'm going to say follow up with new clients. Okay. Follow me through here because I'm going to do something you may not have seen done before. So obviously I don't want to do it at the same time. So I'm just going to change it 1 hour later at 10 a.m. I might want to change the color, whatever you want to do. I'm going to keep this busy. Maybe if it's something I know I can move around, but I want to leave it open for people to still be able to book that time, you could change it to free. I'll just use that as an example. Now, some people use this description area to link things and write lots of notes. Do you know what I like to do? Okay, let's click back over to the Google Doc. I'm going to click in the URL line. It automatically highlights for me. I'm going to copy it. What was our copy again? Control C. I'm going to go back to my calendar and I'm going to put it in the location bar. Why? It's not a Zoom because It's a digital location that I want to go to because why did I say I made this in my calendar? To make an appointment with me and my business. So I'm going to this place to do business. So I'm going to add this location. Why do I want to do that? So I'm going to press save. I'm going to show you. Now, when this reminder pops up, look at this. I'll be like, oh yeah, I need to do that. Ding. I am right there. I don't have to go to Google Docs, find where I saved it, do a search, get distracted by an email. It's on my calendar. It pops up to remind me. I click go and I am there. I get started on whatever it was that I want to continue working on. Is that helpful? You're welcome, Ilse. It was great to see you here. So I hope that that was helpful. I have been using this a lot. Now, let's go back to when I said, right, we don't have 24 hours in a day to sit in front of our computer watching replays. But what if you do have a replay? So sometimes I know there's a training coming up and I know I have lifetime access to it, but I do want to keep on track. So what I do is I will put it in my calendar. I grab the replay link and I'm like, I don't have time to watch that now. But I literally block the time in my calendar to watch the replay, either the next day or the next, depending. And I put the link to the replay in my calendar item. Is that helpful? Look at that. Everyone's saying yes. Oh, I love that. Thank you so much. That is so great to know that these are helpful. Awesome. I have a question. Um, yes, Antonio, like the reminder schedule for this session, there was a link to Zoom. So a lot of online appointment creators, like Zoom webinar, they already have a link you can click to add it to your calendar. Now, I have everything on my calendar. It's on my phone, it's on my tablet, it's on my laptop. It just pops up to remind me everywhere because if I literally am driving, I will even, so this is a little tip. If you're planning a road trip or you're going to be driving for like an hour or two, some people might queue up a podcast or something, music to listen to. That's when I usually catch up on training. So if I know tomorrow I'm going to drive for 3 hours before I leave, I literally in my calendar on my phone or on my computer, I'll put those links in so that when I'm driving, all I have to do is go, oh yeah, click, and it starts playing for me, or I might just have to press the play button. So I'm very hands-free. I'm using my time wisely because it's something that I wanted to catch up on. So if you guard your calendar as the time that's most important to you for things that you need to get done or things you want to get done. If it's not on my calendar, generally doesn't get done. Yeah, exactly. Marie, like you said, it's helpful. You don't have to remember everything. If I have to do something, I'm either picking up my phone and putting it in there if it's on my computer, or I'd be talking to my devices in my house and, hey, remind me to blah, blah, blah. So yes, Susan, I love listening to webinars in the car, right? Especially Robbie with his awesome accent. So I like to listen to catch up on replays and training that I know I need to, maybe I even have heard it before, but I need a refresher because it's something I learned and I'm about to do it again and I want a refresher on what I learned about. Okay, great. So Sebastian, how do I add the Google Drive icon to my desktop? We talked about that in last week's session. I won't go over it again. I don't want to use up all the time on duplicating. So please, if it's okay, go back to that other one and you'll find it there. So I'm going to click back to my list over here. I hope that was helpful. So what did I show you? So I showed you how to create a quick Google Sheet. Incorporating admin tasks into your calendar or into your schedule. Now, one other thing I wanted to do, let me just check back there in the chat. You are so welcome. Yeah, so helpful. All devices, yes. Yeah, that's true, Antonio. No wasted time. We want to use our time wisely. I mean, if you're just driving, you could just listen to the radio. And I will say, I'm not a workaholic, although I do love to think about ways I can help all of you to do things better and faster and easier. But it is healthy to take a break. So my take a break is go to the beach and just look at the ocean. I used to always take videos and photos, and I'm like, I'm just here for me. I'm not taking a video, I'm not taking a photo. It's just for me to relax. Or I go in our backyard and we have so many birds and animals to keep up with. You're welcome, Sebastian. It was great to see you. So the other thing, yeah, you are welcome. Remember to come back next week for our Canva webinar. So one other thing, and if you need to come back to the replay, you might enjoy this. Use Google Sheets as a way not only to budget your income, but your time. What do I mean by that? Now, I made a little, yeah, I guess we'll use this one. Okay. Oh, it's great to see you, Rizwana. Lovely. So I'm just going to put this over here. So we might think of, right, let's think about, say you're an online coach, teacher, online teacher, and you have yeah, this is my good one. All right, I have a few different ones. Let's look at income. I made these ahead of time because I didn't want to spend all the time making it. So let's do this. Let's go. Here's a little tip. If you want to reorder the column size, you just highlight everything in the top left and double click this line. I'll show you that again. See how everything's the same width, but I don't want it to be like that. And this one doesn't quite fit. So I'm going to, instead of just doing one at a time, like you can find that little arrow there and double click it and it'll fit to the width. So you can do this top left and highlight the entire spreadsheet and then find any of those bars in the middle there and just double click. Ta-da! All of these little shortcuts. So we have 80 people still here. You are so welcome. Thank you for coming. Yes. Watch the recording. Yeah, no worries at all. So this is something that I've been sharing with people recently. So say so this is kind of an hourly look at your week. So say you charge out at 50 an hour, or whatever your rate is. So you make your own little spreadsheet that says, okay, how many clients, how many days am I working, how many hours, what's my total income? So what that could be is at the end, so you put if you want your date, so this is a number you manually type in, how many students, how many days am I working, your hourly rate, and then maybe you want to have how many hours you work. So how do you make simple formula to help you plan out when you want to make changes? Might not have explained that very well. Let's imagine this is your own business. You currently charge 50 an hour, but you want to see what it might look like. How impactful will it be if you increase your rate? Or maybe you're starting, let's do this. Maybe you're starting and you currently only maybe you're at 20 or 30 an hour, right? Just to show you an example. So just to show you, you can do your own little formula. It doesn't have to be complicated. So just follow me. We need to press, I'm going to do over here to show you how I did it. When you're on a calculator, right, you would go like 5 times 5, right? Equals. When you press the equals button, right? So when you're in a spreadsheet, you just need to think a little bit backwards. You've got to start with equals. What do we want this cell to equal? So we're going to press the equals button, and then you can use your mouse and click where you want it to be. So in this case, we're going to say 5 students. Okay, you'll notice it fills in the B2 there. And then just like a calculator, we'll say, well, I want to times that times. So on your keyboard, you can either use that little asterisk. You will need to use the asterisk, sorry, if you're using a numpad, not the X. So you need the little asterisk. That means multiplication on your keyboard. Click this one. So how many days? And then I also want to do my hourly rate. So this one. And I've got 3. So this cell equals this times this times this. Let's press enter. 750. Okay. This is just an example. You can put anything you want in these columns to make something multiply. The reason I wanted to show this one to online teachers is if you wanted to make changes, right? So this is the same formula that I put here. So I'm just going to delete this one. So say you're like, well, I don't want to earn 30 anymore. I want to go up $10 an hour. I'm going to charge 40. So can you see I've copied all of those over so that now I can visually see those changes that I'm making. So this is a little bit more on the business side of things. And then again, you could just continue on with that. Now, I wanted to add one more thing here, because say you have a program that's 10 weeks long, And you might think in your mind, okay, well, if my program is $1,000 for 10 weeks divided by 10, it equals, I get $100 an hour. But don't you do admin as well? Like you're going to do things before the class starts, you're going to do things after. When you first take on that client, I'm sure there's admin that you have to do, right? To see the replay, you'll be sent an email from James. You're welcome, Barbara. Thanks for joining us. And yes, in the email, there will be a link to watch the replay. It'll be later on today. Okay, so I made an extra sheet because I wanted to show you the difference. So say it's the same. Okay, oops, the same. Okay, but I want to really know my admin hours. So you might say, okay, I had another one made. Let me find my other one for a second because this one's too simple. I could show you how to do it. All right. We're going to add in some extras here. All right, I'm just going to hide this notes for a second. So we've got this amount here, but what we also want to do, so what we can actually do is I did do it over here. Okay, so I did it over here. I forgot. Let's move over a little bit. So let's have a look. Say you have a program that has 10 sessions with you on camera, right? So you're live on camera for 60 minutes for 10 sessions. So say you price your entire 10-week program at $600 for that program. And so you might think, well, okay, so cool. That's like 60 an hour, right? But is it really? Because you have admin in there. So I just put here 60 minutes. It's just easier to do minutes. So say your admin minutes, we'll say across those 10 weeks, say you need, 10 minutes before each session, maybe 20 minutes after each session. Maybe you need 30 minutes at the beginning of your onboarding when you're getting a client ready. So let's just say in minutes, let's say we add it all up and it's 230 minutes, which if you want to do a calculation in Excel, we do that and we can divide it by 60. This is in time. So say you've got 3 hours, 3.8 hours worth of admin. So if we do that, and now we incorporate that into over here, this formula, we're actually earning $43 an hour because we had to put in that admin time, right? Does that make sense? Is that something you've ever thought of doing before? Is that something that you incorporate into your time? So that's one of the things that I wanted to show you, how you can use Google Sheets to plan out your income, but also your time as well. And so we did also learn how you can grab a link to something. Maybe once a week you want to come back and do your own budget for the week. And you can put that like on your calendar at the end of my week. I do like a recap of my week. And I have that in my calendar as an appointment with myself around 4 o'clock on Thursday. And I look back at the week and say, okay, what was good? What needs fixing up? What do I need to push over to next week? And then I can make changes from there. I'm so glad, Antonia, you've appreciated this because you've got up so early. I appreciate your time so much. So we're nearly done. Let's have a look at my little checklist. So we did that as kind of like a CRM or a customer relationship management by keeping a list. Excel or Google Sheets just can be helpful for lists. It's not as helpful, I think, to do this type of thing in a Google Doc because I want to do formula. Like if I'm doing, especially if you're doing a formula, you can't really do that in a Google Doc. Yeah, I could see this being used as part of the sales strategy to let students know what else is factored into the overall cost of a package. I love that. That's awesome, Marie. It's also, yeah, good for yourself that you can see where your time is going. So I had another sheet, but it got too complicated. But what I loved is you can also do this. So once you've got this one, say we've got this, and I'm just going to copy it down to here. And you might know that when you get really good at your program, it's set. There's not as much admin that you need to do. And you'll be like, oh, I have 10 minutes after every session. It takes me 20 minutes to onboard people. Maybe you only need 100 minutes. Well, look at that. And you're like, I'm so good at my program now. I'm putting it up to 900 for my 10 weeks. So you can see, well, I wanted to do an example like this, just to show you how you can plan changes. So we've changed our admin time here. Do your little colors here. And I've changed my total session here, my total program time. So that's how we've come up with those changes. So you can see that you can plan ahead to know how you can help yourself earn more by doing less, right? So time saving, that's what we're really all about. I'm so glad you found that helpful. You're welcome. Steffi would have us schedule in the time for celebration. Yeah, exactly, Danielle. So, or is it Danielle? Sorry, I might have said it wrong. Yeah, you can have anything in your calendar that you know if you don't put it on your calendar, someone else or something else is going to take that time for something else. So if you're like, okay, say you finish work on Fridays, say you finish early on a Friday and you're like, I do not want to plan this. You know, this is just an example of other things you could do in your time. Maybe you don't want to do any planning. Friday afternoon is just like you said, you're going to celebrate, have some time off, pop some bubbly, be like, okay, celebration. Or maybe you have literally a celebration at the end of a launch. Maybe you're doing your first webinar and you made some awesome sales and you'd be like, yellow is happy. I think yellow is happy. So I'll be like, this is my time to celebrate. And you can pull that down and be like, I'm celebrating for 3 hours. I'm going to go out to lunch, dinner, go for a walk to the beach. Absolutely. You can put all of those celebrations into your time. I love that. Thank you for sharing that. That was a great idea. So let me know any questions you have. I have so many things I could share with you. I would be forever. Those were the main things I wanted to show you in Sheets. I've given you the keyboard shortcuts if you needed that. Pop that over there in the chat again for everyone. And again, if you were looking for that bundle to, if you needed more assistance with that, so the teacher tech bundle, if you needed that one there, then that one's there as well. You are so welcome for the shortcuts, Antonio. And again, just to remind you that you can, hopefully I'm not about to sneeze, go to pollen in our area. Just to show you over here, we did talk about our bundle. I just wanted to do a recap over there. Okay, 1 second, I'm going to sneeze. Oh, no, maybe not. So recapping, so Google Calendar can help you be realistic with how you spend your time, how you spend your minutes in a day, can help you plan ahead. Google Docs and Sheets. Oh, one other thing I forgot to say. I love to pick up my phone and I voice talk or voice to text into a Google Doc, and then I come back to it on my computer later. So that's another thing that I love to do. And Sheets can help you juggle your numbers. So that is the main thing that I wanted to share with you. Why are we doing this again? So you can have more time to go to the beach, hike in the mountains, spend time with family and friends, or get more sleep at night. So again, I've already shown you the Canva trainings, all of those trainings that we wanted to share with you to really help you. Just for this series only, because you're awesome and you've stayed here with us, you'll receive that exclusive link for the lower price, $47. Lifetime access, immediate access via email. So that is really helpful too. So questions. All right, let me have a look. Please scroll up on the check. Oh, great, Linda. Yeah, I did show that last week. Thank you for reminding me. I'm just going to have a quick look at the chat, Linda. I will show you that. You are so welcome, Teresa. Thank you for sharing your time with me. Great to hear, Antonio. I will show you. So voice text. Okay. So I didn't cover this, but I'll do a really quick voice tutorial. Okay. Okay, great. Oh, I'm loving these. Look at this. Okay. Awesome. Ah, I love it. Thank you so much. This is really great. I'd love to know what was your favorite that you've learnt today. If you're about to go, I'd love to know what was your favorite. Or if you're watching the replay, reply to the email for me. It'll go to the team, but they'll let me know. We love to know what was the most helpful for you. Was there something today you learned that you know you're going to implement and it's going to help you save time? That is something I would love to know. That's my favorite. But I will show you. And if you need to find me online, Teacher Christy, everywhere. So let me click back over for you. I want to show that to you, Linda. Okay, so I'm back over here. All right, so I did show last week, but I'll show you again. So it depends on what you're on. If you're on Windows 11, and excuse me, last week I may have misspoke my words. So if you're on Windows 11, which I am, look in the top right. If you hover your mouse, you will see these little pre-made, there's 4 tiles that give you like preset widths on the screen. And so I can say, I want this window. These are for windows. So this window I want on the left to be half screen. And then I'll say this other one, I want to be the other half. What I could do, all right, give me a second. And I'm going to change what I'm sharing. Yeah, let's do that one. Okay, I'm going to just change some things on my screen so I can show this to you in action. And not that one. Okay. All right, so I'm going to change my screen for a second. And I did this last week. I don't normally do this, but just for you guys, because you're awesome, I want to share with you my entire screen. Okay. Okay, so full screen. And you'll know it's full screen because you will see in the bottom right-hand corner, you'll see my time clock. I don't normally share that way because if I'm in a webinar and I see everyone's icons on their computer, I'm so distracted by, ooh, what's that? Ooh, what do they use? 1 second while I just grab my nose for a second. So what I wanted to show you was the half screen. Okay, so I'm going to show you this one here on the left. Let's move it over so you can see it. So again, anywhere that you see that little square, and I want the other half to be this one. So you can have side by side stacked windows. They're separate windows. You know, mine are different because I've done different Chrome logins with different colors, but that's for another day. Feel free to type your questions in the chat. I see some hands being raised. We're taking questions in the chat, so I love to. Okay, now, Antonio, we talked about this last week. If you're on Windows 10, another shortcut, if you don't have those preset tiles, another way you can do that is by, okay, so it's on your keyboard. So let's do this. Let's go full screen. And I did write it on this sheet. Maybe we should share the sheet with you. You gotta reply to the email and let me know if you want this sheet here. So over here, I wrote it here. If you're on Windows 10, you have a Windows key on your keyboard. So you would click the Windows key and the arrows. So do arrow left. This one will go left. And then you can click on the other side. Or if this doesn't pop up automatically, you would then just go to the other window and click Windows with the arrow key right. I hope that helps. How could we do them side by side? Okay, so Linda, let me check I got your question. Thank you, Larissa. That was awesome to know. Lots of tips and the overall philosophy of planning. Yeah, when we plan, we save time. Great. So voice, text to docs. So I have on my phone the Google Docs app. I have Google Sheets app. I have Google Drive. So there's 3 different apps I have on my phone because I do a lot of work, you know, when I'm out and about. Sometimes I'm like, I need to write this down now. So okay, I'm so glad, Antonio. How to go back to full screen? Find any of the windows with the square in the top right, and you just click that, and it will go full screen for that window. Okay, and I hope that helps. That's so exciting. Okay, yeah, and you can drag your title bar, then it will pop up all the other windows I have opened. And I just choose what the other side will be. Yeah, great. Oh, Antonio, I'm so excited for you. That is really cool. I am so happy to hear that you learned something new that will be so helpful. I do a lot of things side by side. The recording will be later on today. I'm not sure 100% how long, but usually within 12 hours, 12 to 24 hours. I think last week it came out pretty quick. So keep an eye on your your emails. You'll get an email from James with the replay. Thank you for your question. So sorry, I got a little distracted. Oh, I'm so excited for you, Antonio. You got such a mind-blowing experience that you learned something new. Fantastic. So now you can see me taking screenshots. So that was the side-by-side thing. I've shown you that one. The other thing I want to share with you, well, I want to try something. What is that little thing here? There's a thing here. No? No, I can't find it. There was something I wanted to share with you. I am not seeing it. Okay, so that one's done. Thank you. Great. So voice to text. So on most phones, if you open even a note, I might have mentioned this last week. Even if you have a notes app on your phone, open the notes and you might see a microphone button. So click the microphone and just start talking. Just talk as if it is, you're talking to a note taker. So I find if I talk too fast, plus, I'm Australian and I have an American phone and it doesn't always understand me, just talk a little slower. But I talk my thoughts out loud. So I'm like brainstorming. So I get a Google Docs on my phone. I click the microphone button and it types out what I'm saying as I'm saying it. And what that's helpful for, here's a tip. If I know I want to use AI to help me organize my thoughts, type in the chat, what's your favorite AI tool? So I will talk out my thoughts, but they might be a little bit jumbled and not maybe in a logical order. So then what I'll do is I will go to my computer and copy and paste that text into my AI tool and press go, or I'll say, help me organize my thoughts. And I paste it in there, and it just helps me organize in a more logical way. Okay, great. Yeah, I do actually do that on my phone now. Now, ChatGPT, I don't have the app itself, but I open it on my phone on a web browser, and I voice to text sometimes in the chat box, but then usually I want to come back and use it again. So I usually start in a Google Doc. I start everything in a Google Doc if I'm brainstorming, and then I put it where else it needs to go. I personally like, Chat GPT. Some people I've seen, is it Copilot has come out now. You're welcome to type in the chat there and put down your favorite one. I wanted to share some of those with you. Let me double check in the chat. We've got 2 more minutes. Everyone here is so awesome that you've stayed with us this long. I so appreciate your time. It is valuable and I really appreciate you. Let me look at we have 62 with us still. Let me know if you need any of the chat, the links. Okay, I'm going to open up here. I'm so glad. Antonio, I appreciate you even telling me in the chat that these things are amazing. You're learning new things that are going to save you time. Someone asked how to create checkboxes in Google Doc. Thank you for asking. Let's quickly look at that. That might be our finish off. Let's go here. Okay, so we are in a Google Doc. I think that was what it was. Yep. Okay, so let's just go to the bottom here. Let's do Control Enter is a new page. So say I have did you see that? I just typed it in the chat. I meant to type that on my screen. That's hilarious. Okay. I just typed 1, 2, 3 all the way to 9 in the chat. Apologies for that. But I just realized I totally forgot to change my name in the Zoom. Okay, so my name is Christy Wells, in case you didn't know. How do you make checkboxes? I just did this to show you lines. We highlight, and then if you have a look up in, I need my other menu. Insert, okay, in the top menu. So click on Insert, scroll down, and it usually jumps out at me, but I'm not quite seeing it. Wow. Checkbox. Now, from memory, and you may need to Google this because me check something on my other screen for a second. Docs.new. I think I had to add something to enable that. So let me check that. No, it's not an image. It's literally a checkbox, but let me check where it is over here. Insert. That's so funny. I'm not even seeing it. All right, let me find this because that's really important. Why is it not showing me? I do it like all the time. Oh, it's in the menu. I'm so sorry. Okay, it's in the menu. Up here. It's in this menu. Okay. So we are going to go. Wow. Okay. See, this is what happens when you're like, yes, I can do that live. I remember I had to add something. Yeah, that's where I thought it was. I'm looking on my other screen for a second. Insert. Oh, sure. Oh, you know what? I don't know why I can't find it. Special characters. No, that's not it. I do it like all the time. And now that I'm live on camera, it's freaking me out and I can't find it. Okay. Wow. I thought it was up here. I am going to add this into the email because I don't want to keep everybody here waiting. There's actually a different way to do it, unless I'm thinking over in here. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of, that I know that it's in here. Okay, I'm going to find it, and in the email, when the replay goes out, I am going to put a link to an article where you can do that. Because I know that there is a way to do that now that isn't, you don't have to, someone said something. Third from left in view. Yeah, it's not even a special character. It literally says checkbox. That's so funny. I'm going to get back to you on that because right now it's just being really weird. Formats. Let's have a look. Ah, okay, there you go. Yeah, normally it's in my little, okay. Yeah, I know why it is now. See how I made my screen really big? It's because I was looking for it over here. That's so funny. Thank you. So yes, so you said it was the long way to do it because I used to have it on my shortcuts. I'm using a different logon, so I don't always use this one. So bullets and numbering, and then so in the menu, file, format, bullets and numbering, and then this is the checklist menu, and you can either have to check or not to check. That's right. It's a yeah. See, thank you. You're a lifesaver. Whoever answered that for me, thank you, Linda. Yeah, it's right here. I don't know why I couldn't see it. It's right in front of me. Checklist menu. Now you can have where you either check it off and it like deletes it, like it does a strike through, or you can change the setting to check the box but not strike through. Thanks, Linda, you're a lifesaver. Helping the tech teacher. I appreciate you so much. I'm going to say thank you so much, and it is great to see everyone here today. We've gone a little bit over. I appreciate your time so much. Come back next week. I'm so excited to share about Canva with you, and we will learn how to make slides. And even if you don't want to present in Canva, I'll show you how to create it. And then if you need to import it somewhere else as well. Oh, thank you so much for everyone's time. I'm going to put those, I think the links are good. Everybody has those links in the chat. So that is great. I'm so happy that all of you could join us today. And Linda is the queen of Google Docs, says Antonio. And thank you so much for rescuing me there when I made my screen so big I couldn't even see it. So have a wonderful rest of your morning, afternoon, evening. Antonio, have a great rest of your day since it's so early for you. And I will see you next week. and look forward to seeing you there. And reply to the email. I would love to know what you thought about today, and I'll see you next time. Thanks, everyone. Oh, good to see you, Eddie. Bye, Antonio, Linda, Esther, Susan. You are so welcome. Shelley, Thomas. Oh, great to see everyone. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye.